we consolidated a couple of historic mining districts. And within those districts are a series of past producing mines. To make a project successful right from the start, you need a lot of key ingredients, and those things have to mix together really well. You need the right alignment of values. You need a strong ethical foundation. But importantly, you need, in a mining project, you need technical skill, you need geological skill, and you also need public company skill, and you also need finance skill.
Some stories are built in boardrooms, others are built in the ground. The ones that matter most sit right at the intersection of both of those. Now, right now, I'm sitting down with two people who are directly connected on both sides of that equation. Global Vision Capital is focused on backing opportunities before the broader market catches on, while Mogul Mountain is advancing projects in areas that have seen far less attention than they probably deserve. Joining me is Gregg Sedun, President and CEO of Global Vision Capital, and Andy Edelmeier, CEO of Mogul Mountain. Boys, gentlemen, hello, how are we?
We're great.
Hi, Lyndsay. Great to be here.
Well, I am really excited to sit down with both of you because I think that there's a lot of conversation that can be had on both sides of this. And now, Andy, we're going to get to this a little bit later, but you come from both sides, so I can't wait to delve into that with you. We're going to start with you, though, Gregg. You're in the hot seat right now. So, right out of the gate, you see a constant flow of deals, 100%. So when Mogul came across your desk, what made you stop and go, I want to look at this one?
Yeah, my business is really about investing. And often it's in people and sometimes in the projects and whatnot. And they can start early. And in this case, I've known Andy about at least 15 years. And, I've enjoyed some success with him in the projects I've invested in. I have a venture capital business that I invest in early stage opportunities, and I've done well in the past with a number of those. Then I really loved the story. It was in Nevada, which is a fantastic jurisdiction, number one in the world, and everything they were doing, precious metal space, gold, silver, the team they built, they all kept, just kept checking boxes for me. And so
great.
As a venture capital guy, and really the last 30 years after I got out of the legal business and I ended up doing projects, financing things that interested me, and this was one that I just could not say no to. And so I've invested at multiple stages, and I think we're now really onto something.
And here we sit. So before we bring Andy into that, why don't you give us a little bit of insights on how you vet these projects?
Yeah, that's a hard one. I think I'm really about, as I say, starting with the people a little bit. So you sit and get, and then also you have to look at the cycle that you're in. Right? And it's hard to invest in something that's not timely. And I think right now we're finally in a space, precious metal. It's been, we came out of essentially a 50-year bear.
Oh my gosh,
yes.
It
was tough. So the timing was right. The people were right. The project, everything just, it kind of all came together and making a lot of sense, and something I want to do at this stage in my career, which is, near the end of the career, and I'm proud to be a part of this team.
Awesome. So great. Thank you so much. Gregg, we're going to bring you into this conversation right now, right out of the gate. Why don't you give us a little background of yourself?
Sure. Well, first and foremost, it's great to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah.
So I have 30 years of finance and investment banking experience. So about half that time I was a banker in London and New York, worked on lots of large-scale transactions for blue-chip banks such as JP Morgan and CS First Boston. Wow. Went back to Vancouver around 2009, and I've been investing in a number of companies, some with Gregg, and we've had success. And one of those companies that I invested in was actually a company called American Lithium. And that's where I met my co-founder of Mogul, a fellow by the name of Mike Kobler. He was the co-founder and CEO of that company. And, well, long story short, that company was a big success and got to know Mike. And he and I teamed up in about 5 years ago now to start Mogul. And Gregg has been part of our story, from pretty early on as both an investor and as an advisor.
Well, that's a great backing right there for sure. And, you two sound like you have a united front 100%. So I want to dive a little bit further into that. Andy, bringing in someone like Gregg, we're going to go here, is not just about capital, and we can see it already. What does that relationship unlock for you in terms of speed, access, and also that decision-making process?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. And listen, at the end of the day, to make a project successful right from the start, you need a lot of key ingredients, and those things have to mix together really well.
Yeah.
So a key part of it, and Gregg has already alluded to that, is people, right? So you need the right skill set, you need the right alignment of values, you need a strong ethical foundation.
Right.
But importantly, you need, in a mining project, you need technical skill, you need geological skill, and you also need public company skill, and you also need finance skill. Okay. And Gregg certainly, brings a lot of experience in the mining sector, but it's really on the finance side, I would say, the relationship side, and the public company side that really complements our existing team very well.
Well put, for sure. I'm going to keep it here with you, Andy, for just one more moment, if I can. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your project?
So we have a large asset package. It's over 5,000 acres. We're located about 12 kilometers north of the mining town of Tonopah.
Where is that?
And Tonopah is right on the edge of the Walker Lane Trend in Nevada.
Okay.
It's a very prolific mining area. And
About a 3-hour drive from Las Vegas.
Sounds beautiful.
We're right in
Major
between,
highway.
right in between Vegas and Reno, basically
Okay.
equidistant. And being close to Tonopah means that we have access to a lot of really good infrastructure, which is really important. And the Tonopah area is just a very active mining district.
It really is.
So we have producing companies, we have development companies, we have exploration companies. We're in close proximity with all these types of businesses. So, the combination of a large asset package with really exciting geology in a fantastic Tier 1 jurisdiction is what we're all about.
And I might add that it's a jurisdiction that you can essentially work 12 months a year, and that's a difficult. A lot of countries you can't do that.
That's true.
You get kind of weathered out or whatever. But in Nevada, it's easy to get to. You got major flights into Vegas all the time. Work all even 12 months, so it's with a lot.
And that's key. That's absolutely key. What about permitting? Talk me through that.
Nevada is ranked not only as the number 1 jurisdiction in North America, but the number 1 jurisdiction in the world for mining.
Wow.
So we're in the best place. And just to add to that, we have a team that is local. So I mentioned my co-founder, Mike Kobler, with his previous company, American Lithium. Mike spends a lot of time in Tonopah. He has a house there. And our whole geological and technical team are based about 3 hours away from the project.
Okay.
So we know how to get things done locally. And we are already permitted for our upcoming drill program once we're publicly listed. We plan to drill up to about 5,000 meters, and we already have the permits in place for that. So, it's a great spot to be in.
Absolutely.
And, a number of the technical people that Andy alluded to are from such companies as Newmont, Freeport, Acre. So some really top quality mining companies, exploration companies.
They're well seasoned.
Yeah, well seasoned, great training.
Absolutely.
We're really happy to have part of our team.
Well, Gregg, I'm going to keep this here with you then. The market is crowded with stories competing for attention. Where do you think Mogul is being overlooked right now in that?
Well, I think that we're at the stage right now where we're technically still private going public. So I'm not so sure that we're overlooked in the sense that people just don't know about us because we haven't had the exposure in the public market.
Right.
I think that's all about to change. We're going to be going literally listing and going public here in the next couple weeks, or we'll say couple months. So I think you're going to start hearing about the company a lot more often.
Absolutely.
And it does, look, it takes a little bit of time. The exploration success, is something that comes. We're going to, we're ready. We've got the projects. We're permitted. Money will be ready to get going.
Right.
Right now. So
So
you're
what-
going to hear a lot more about us.
I'm really excited for this. So, Andy, what sets this project apart from every other one in the Nevada jurisdiction?
That's a good question. So I'd start off by saying we consolidated a couple of historic mining districts.
Okay.
And within those districts are a series of past producing mines. So we have about a dozen of those mines. And the amount of development that happened up at the Rays area was pretty significant.
Right.
So our team includes, very seasoned geologists, but also mining engineers. And we've had the opportunity to basically spend a lot of time analyzing our assets. And we're talking about 7,000 feet of underground historical mine workings. We're
7,000
talking
feet.
probably about 25 to 30 million US dollar in current dollar terms of what was put into the ground there.
Yep.
We're talking about, several mine shafts that go down 500 feet. We're talking a 1,700-foot purpose-built tunnel. And over the last, I'd say, 18 months or so, we've increasingly spent more time underground. And that really sets us up very well going forward for exploration.
There's a saying, the best place to find a mine is near a mine. Well, we're in the middle of a lot of mines.
You really are.
And these mines, it's incredible what they did 120 years ago, mining with pickaxes and wheelbarrows and donkeys, right? They went 7,000 feet underground, built tunnels. It's really impressive. And the one thing that drove them to do it was high-grade gold.
High grade,
silver, and
okay.
So, we think we're really on something.
And that's something that I actually want to clarify here. What are you mining? Are you doing silver? Are you doing gold? Are you doing copper? Are you doing all of it? What are you hitting? What are you going for?
Well, basically we're precious metals focused.
Okay.
So the strong mineralization, really high gold values, high silver values. So those are our two main target areas.
Right.
Up at Rays, it is going to be polymetallic,
Okay.
but it's going to be predominantly gold, silver. As Gregg mentioned, the old timers back in the day, they mined and shipped bonanza grade gold. So we're very hopeful and excited about getting the drill bits turning.
Love that. Love that. Well, you're sitting here in front of a very seasoned audience of investors, and a lot of them are actually over in the Europe district. And those European investors, they are ready to really execute that capital outside of the company or outside of the country. So when you're sitting there and you're talking to these type of investors where they really do their due diligence way further than what we're actually seeing here in Canada or in the US, what is a piece of advice that you could give them or a piece of insight behind the curtain that you could give them to make them go, I want to look at this one further?
Well, I'd say a couple things. First and foremost, we are an elephant country, and we're looking for large-scale gold-silver deposits.
Okay.
We have the right structure, the right geology, the right asset base. We've got multiple targets already outlined and delineated, and we'll be drilling, Q3, Q4 with active news flow. So we can hardly wait to get going.
Gregg, I'm going to flip this back over to you to finish it off. You're about to go public. Tell us about that. What's the target? And what are the catalysts you need to hit before you get there?
Well, look, I guess the first target is finish the financing, which is, call it 5 to 7 million. That will be done. We are very confident in that. We're closing that shortly. In terms of, the stock then begins to trade, and, it's anybody's guess.
Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, I don't want to put a number on that. And then there's the tying that into your exploration success. And as I said, it will take us, a few months to get the drills going and get at the results that we are optimistic and positive we're going to get. So we're excited about all that. And, obviously we don't have a crystal ball on, the price of gold or the markets and all that. But, I think we're really in a strong market in precious metal space.
Yeah.
And we really haven't seen the junior companies have the big move. The majors, the intermediates, they've all had good returns on with the price of gold and silver movement that we had. But I think it's the small cap is next, and then that's where we fit in.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, thank you both for sitting with me. I really do appreciate it. I'm excited to hear about this. Congratulations on going public too.
Thank you.
I am watching out for this.
Super. That's great. Thank you. Great to be here.
Absolutely. Now, this is the kind of alignment that tends to show up early, long before broader attention follows. So capital that moves with intention, paired with a company that's still building its story, that's where it counts. Now, I've been speaking with Gregg Sedun.
Got it.
I'm going to do that. I've been speaking with Gregg Sedun, President, CEO of Global Vision Capital, and Andy Edelmeier.
Got it.
Yes, I'm good at this. CEO of Mogul Mountain. Mogul Mountain is not trading publicly yet, but stay tuned because they are coming up quickly. Alongside opportunities, we believe that this market has not fully priced in yet. I say flip over to their website and learn more. What is the website?
It's mogulmountain.com.
All right, and what's your website?
Global Vision.
Globalvision.com, mogulmountain.com. Go over, learn the stories. If you're watching this space, pay attention to who's getting involved before the headlines hit, because that is where the story begins. I'm Lyndsay Malchuk with Appeton. Subscribe and follow along with us as we bring more conversations just like this straight to you. We'll see you soon.